This podcast is a part of the Podmania podcasting network. Check out podmania.co.uk to check out more of our great podcasts, features, reviews, match ratings and previews spanning the crazy and diverse world of professional wrestling. Hello guys, and welcome to the Stardom Cast, your weekly or sort of audio source of all things World Wonder Ring Stardom. I'm your host, Rob Good, and I am joined by the Mark himself, Chris O'Brien. Chris, how are you, my friend?
Something occurred to me this week.
Okay.
You know when someone says, all the people on Earth, and that's meant to include everyone? But when people say that, they're excluding 6 people.
Okay.
Because there's 6 people in the International Space Station. So all the people on Earth aren't all the people.
Chris, I need to ask you this. Do you just sit at times and think, what bollocks can I talk at the start of the Stardom Cast to make Rob go, what? Is it
cute. It's really cute that you think I prepare for podcasts beyond watching the show that we have to watch.
I turn up and that is as far as it goes.
It's the reason I don't send you notes, and the reason I don't send you my notes is because I'd probably be fired.
In my defense, I don't make scrupulous notes.
And compared to me, you do.
Well, yeah, compared to you, I suppose I do. But
I'm just naturally talented.
There's no need to be a dick about it, man. There's no need to be a full-on dick. Come on.
Got a growing YouTube channel. I lost 3 Twitter followers. I don't know how I lost 3 Twitter followers, but I have.
It's because of your smarky points of view. People follow you for the videos and then go, "Oh man, this person's got weird." It's probably people who don't like DDT.
I haven't put DDT on the thing in ages. I'm behind on DDT. But again, the last thing on my thing before the Stardom stuff was actually, to be fair, this year's week has been mostly just WrestleMania weekend stuff from a video.
No, I know what you mean. It took me a while to recover from WrestleMania.
Honestly, I'm not going to be recovered from WrestleMania week until that fucking video is out, and I still didn't watch anything, everything. It's not a comprehensive video, and it annoys me, but I need to get it out.
I don't think anyone is going to abuse you for not having watched the 235 shows that were on Mania week, mate.
And most of them were from GCW.
Yeah, most of them were GCW.
And you'd have to put up with the worst commentary in the world. Oh my god.
I've seen a lot of Twitter backlash about the commentary teams trying to get themselves over instead of the talent, stuff like that.
Yeah, also, they emphasize the wrong points. So, it'll be a big moment, throwing punches and nothing. This is part of the reason I like Stardom. I don't need to worry about fucking commentary fucking up. And also, just some of the just the analysis is bollocks. It's you haven't tried. I prepare more for these fucking podcasts.
I was just going to say, you think their analysis is bollocks? Have you heard some of our Stardom Cast episodes?
We're not official. We're not being paid by Stardom.
Yet.
They're being paid. Yeah, no,
That's
if Stardom started paying me, I can't trust myself not to go full shill, because...
mate, I would shill anything if Stardom paid for it. Absolutely anything.
I need that fucking paper. I'd be hearing a Starlight Kid mask, my fucking DDM top, sup, bro? Welcome to the Stardom Appreciation Society.
So apart from wrestling, Chris, how have you been in the last couple of weeks?
Consuming a lot of Doctor Who.
I've seen your Twitter.
I don't even post Doctor Who stuff on Twitter because people would judge me. Although then one guy did come up with half a quote, and I finished the quote, and it was a magical moment. And he might now be my husband. I'm not sure. It was all a blur.
To be fair, I can imagine at your wedding your vows being Doctor Who related.
Yeah, it'd be bad depending on the quote. Do you take this woman? I don't want to go. that would be mixed signals. To be fair, I already have a plan for my wedding. It would be this is far in advance because I'd have to meet someone and then meet. It's a whole thing. But I'd be there going, do you take this woman? I do. Or do I? And then the whole crowd will lose their fucking shit. And then Bully Ray will come out, Aces and Eights reunion. Incredible.
So, just to summarize, your wedding in your mind is basically the angle from TNA, which would include, which, just to clarify again, you would need to find a woman or a man. I'm not judging.
It'll be a swerve for them as well. They wouldn't know.
I mean, you would have to ask Taz if he was free to be the best man.
Why do you just like? Don't you have four siblings? It's like I do. Just trust me on this one.
Taz is the guy.
Why are we having it in a Universal Studios? Shut up.
Why are there 18 people here? Because it's a TNA show.
Yeah, we couldn't draw very well. We just tore it.
My wedding outdrew TNA.
To be fair, because most people can't have crowds right now, we technically outdrew TNA.
That is true. What, just me and you?
Yeah, well, the Stardom cast technically outdraws TNA in terms of live attendance. In terms of like, in terms of numbers, probably not. But we don't have a partnership with AEW, so
that is true. Not that we're saying that the Forbidden Door is locked forever, guys. I mean, if you want to do a crossover episode, feel free.
Fuck Tony Khan. Mark.
Right, speaking of sloppy analysis, we're here, of course, to talk about the Stardom Cinderella Tournament 2021. This was originally supposed to be dropped on Wednesday, but due to a couple of things, we decided to push it back to Sunday. So, we're going to run through the entire of the first round of the tournament, and then we'll preview the brackets, because in what can all be described as the most backward way I've ever seen of doing a tournament, they didn't release the brackets until after the first round.
Never watch Bowler. If you hate that, never watch Bowler, because that shit's a blind bracket.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. There was no reason not to do it at all. You would announce the competitors. There was no need to wait until the day to announce the bracket. But
honestly, I don't think it really annoys anyone beyond us, because we have to talk about it for a podcast.
My OCD went through the fucking roof. I was like, who is fighting?
Honestly, I was just mad about the format change. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. So, very, very briefly, for those who don't know what the Cinderella Tournament is, it's one of Stardom's tournaments. It's a single elimination tournament. It usually, apart from this year, all takes place on one show. It has 10-minute time limit. You can be eliminated via pinfall, submission, or over the top rope. The winner usually does get a wish, which is a title opportunity.
I kind of wish we'd go mental with a wish at some point.
What would you wish for if you won the Cinderella Tournament, Chris? Don't say world peace. You want not Miss World.
Unlimited sausages.
Unlimited what?
Sausages.
Sausages?
Yeah, I don't know. You put me on the fucking spot.
What the fuck are sausages?
Sausages, but made of soy.
Are they an actual thing?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? Vegans need to eat something.
Sausages?
Sausages. What else are you meant to call them?
Vegan sausages.
Sausages doesn't take as much time.
I'm a man with limited time. I haven't got time for your 2-word product names.
Come on, quickly, not slowly.
Past winners of this tournament have been Tony Storm, Mayu Iwatani, Momo Watanabe, Arisa Hajiki, to name but a few. Julia is the reigning, defending champion, having won it last year.
It's not bold, but it's not bold Julia. So actually, I say bold Julia. That hair's going back really fast.
It really is, like fucking hell. So obviously, the big change between this year and last year and previous years is that the tournament, instead of just being over one day, they expanded the participants and they made it over 2 days. So the first round would take place on the 10th of April at Corrigan Hall, which is, of course, what we're talking about today. And then the second round, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final will all take place on the 30th of April, again at Corrigan Hall. So, Chris, before we delve into any analysis on the matches and talk about who went through and things like that, I know that you have a rant prepared in regards to the change of format.
When you say prepared, it indicates that I rehearsed this rant. I've just been mad about it for the past week.
You have bottled this up for a long, long time.
Because you keep going, we'll talk about it on the podcast, and then you'd cut me off every time I try and talk about it, because I'm mad. I'm mad, Robert.
You can't tell. You're hiding it really well, bro.
Fuck you.
Are you more mad now, or were you more mad when I told you that they changed all the time limits to 30 minutes?
Right, when you did that, I was wine drunk. I downed a bottle of rosé. I was having a great day. Just sitting there, and then Rob's like, "Oh, we changed it to 30 minutes." I'm in my head. I could just see them doing it. I could just imagine that was a thing they would do.
I think
because they've already fucked up the format, so why stop there?
I think it was the fact that I told you Unagi went the time limit, and you just blew your lid. It was great. Fucked everything in capital letters. That was right.
Why would you mess with Drunk Chris? Even Garth doesn't mess with Drunk Chris.
Because it's really easy to wind Drunk Chris up.
Because Drunk Chris isn't drunk because he's had a good day, unless he's in Blackpool.
So anyway, your pre-prepared rant about the...
I hate it. I just hate the fucking format change. Because what does it achieve? It means we can have more children in it. Cool. I didn't need that. I didn't fucking need that. If I didn't look at previous Cinderella tournaments and thought, you know what this needs more of? Rena. Just that was part of its identity. It would be a one-day tournament at Corrigan Hall. You'd be somewhat special if you're in it because only about half the roster could make it. And apart from here, where the only people who don't seem to be in it are either injured, Hina, or Lady C. Which, by the way, that must really sting for Hina, but she's a fucking lower twin. That must fucking hurt. But still, what does this achieve? Nothing. It just takes away, because those little stories that would be added throughout the day are no longer there. It just takes away so much of the hype. Because now, instead of thinking about, oh, cool, this is what's going to happen next, and immediately getting that, I now have to sit for about a week with the fact that I'm going to have another fucking arena match to look forward to. And I don't care. I couldn't fucking care less. And it takes away surprises as well, because all momentum gained from a surprise. For example, I would think Unagi could do more after her surprise win against Tora in previous years. This year, I do not. And I see no point in doing it. Because it's literally just taken one of the main identities of the Cinderella tournament and then plucks it away. About this point, you might as well just call it the Stardom Cup, take away all time limits, and just have normal fucking singles matches. And it's Bushi Road, so I bet that's what we want to fucking do. Cunt.
You done?
No, but we have 12 matches to go through. More than 12 matches. We have a lot of matches to go through.
I'm with you, man. I do understand the whole, not the whole point, but
is anyone happy about this? I've not seen anyone happy about this.
I've seen people say it's nice to see other people get a chance in the tournament that wouldn't necessarily have had the chance to be in the tournament. That I've seen, but the changing of it from 1 day to 2 days, I don't really understand what it's achieved. You had Corrigan booked anyway, so it's not a case of you've proved time and time again, especially during the pandemic, that you can draw a house to Corrigan, so you don't really need to have things spread over 2 days. Plus, the thing for me is, one of my favourite matches, spoiler, in this tournament is Micah and Konami. And the injury, in inverted commas, that Micah sustained, if this was a 1 day tournament, that's a storyline. How is she going to carry this injury through the tournament? But here, there's a fucking month in between the two. There's 20 days between the two tournament days. So it's a complete non-factor. Any injuries that are sustained, unless they are legitimate injuries, are almost complete non-factors. Because there's 4 or 5 other dates on the Cinderella tour in between the two tournament days. I don't understand.
so you could build towards the tournament. What you do is you use those non-tournament days. You announce the brackets beforehand and use those non-tournament days to plant seeds. That's what you do. Like, even New Japan managed to get this right. They can't do fucking anything right anymore. We look at a perfectly nice little Shingo versus Ospreay match and think we're going to sprinkle some domestic abuse on it. So, like, they're not people to be trusted. How can they do something right and you lot can't? It's ridiculous.
There was an idea bandied about, and I think it was Armani Shoe Exchange, talked about qualifiers. You know, if you want everyone to have the opportunity to be in the Cinderella tournament, keep it as a 16-woman bracket and have qualifiers. Have your Rina, your Ruaka, your Hanan, your Unagi, your Mina, and have them go through qualifiers. Because that way then it feels, you know, like you said, you feel honoured that you are included as part of the Cinderella tournament. Whereas here, I mean, it wasn't helped by the fact that we had 3 people having to be replaced. That really didn't help. I mean, Siori had to be replaced through injury. Saki Kashima had to be replaced. I've heard that she's either ill or injured. I can't seem to find what is actually the problem, but we wish her and, of course, Sayarida well. And obviously, B. Priestley's gone. So they did have to scramble, but again, I just feel like qualifiers, keep it as a 16-woman bracket, because I know for a fact that they're going to extend the blocks in the 5-star. They just are.
You say that, it makes it sound like we have an insight.
No, it makes sense. If they're going to extend this, they're going to extend the 5-star, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I hope we just do that in terms of field size and like not time limit again, because that seriously didn't help 5-star at all last year.
No. Let's delve straight into this then. So, the first day of the Cinderella Tournament 2021 from Corrigan Hall on the 10th of April, an attendance of 606 people, which is a 12.6% increase from last year's 538 people, Chris. You're welcome.
That's the one argument I've seen for the tournament being 2 days. It gives them more money, but I couldn't give a fuck about how much money started.
I mean, you say that they had the Corrigan booked anyway, unless you're saying, well, having the Cinderella tournament, you know, that is inherently more of a draw than your standard Corrigan card, which it is. But it seems like, I don't know. I prefer it over one day. It is the crowning part of its identity.
Everyone who's not like a massive twat likes that prefers it over one day.
Just a disclaimer: Chris doesn't think you're a twat if you don't like it. If you like it, no, he doesn't.
I absolutely do.
Are you still wine drunk? Right, so we had a pre-show match because 12 matches wasn't enough on this card. With Hina. The only person who's not Lady C to not be in this tournament. She defeated Lady C at 6 minutes and 24 seconds with the Power Slam. It was kind of a pop-up Power Slam. It was a really cool transition, but yeah, I didn't watch the full match, I'm not going to lie. And then we had...
I did. I had it on in the background. I'm still surprised by the children's growth spurts. I don't like it when people grow up, but apart from that, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about, to be perfectly honest. We then had the opening ceremony where they just introduced all the competitors, which was literally just the roster of Stardom. And they also announced the matchups because the matchups weren't announced beforehand. And then we kicked straight into the tournament, Chris, with our first tournament match, Hammacher defeating Hanan at 6 minutes and 32 seconds with the JP coaster. Hanan replacing the injured Saya Ida. First thing I am going to say, Chris, fucking hell, someone needs to take the microphone away from the laughing policeman in the front fucking row.
Oh, it was fucking ridiculous, wasn't it?
Oh, my God. Just, oh, my God, move the microphone. It wasn't as prevalent in any of the other matches, but this one, it was proper off-putting.
It's not as bad. So I've binged a bunch of Brock Lesnar matches recently so I can, like, bulk make my Brock Lesnar series. And... on the Brock Lesnar versus I think it's on Lesnar versus Cena at SummerSlam, you can just hear a kid off mic, and it's the worst thing. I've never hated a child more than that, and I'm very easy to make an enemy of. So like children very easily make it.
Fucking hell, Jesus. I don't know what is the matter with you today. Jesus Christ. So far you've hated the Cinderella Tournament, anyone who disagrees with your opinion on the Cinderella Tournament, and all children.
Not all children, just most children. I like babies. They can't talk.
Jesus Christ. What did you think about Hannon's attempt here at Hammacher?
It was fine. I enjoyed the drop kick to the arm. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit clunky. A lot of Hammacher matches nowadays seem to be getting more and more clunky. Like, she's somehow regressing a bit. I'm not sure how. It might be caliber of opponent. But also, Hannon's been shown to be very solid, so I don't know. Beyond that, it was a fine big person versus little person match. Hannon did a decent job of cutting off Hammacher's offense until she couldn't, and then got destroyed with a psycho driver. So it was fine. There's not much to say. If this was on any other card, we wouldn't give it the time of day.
No, I thought it was nice that both women got chops in as like a little testament to Saya, which I thought was nice. Like you mentioned, Hannon adapting her offense to target Hammacher's arm was great, but ultimately it was a case of her youthful exuberance just got ground down by the power of Hammacher. It was inevitable that she was going to win. I gave it 2 3/4. I'm just going to say our ratings here, all of these matches are sub 10 minutes. So you sort of take these ratings with a pinch of salt.
Normally this would come in, normally this would come with an asterisk of, it doesn't matter because the whole night's worth checking out because it's short, often less than 2 hour tournament. Ha ha ha! Not anymore. Fuck you, people. Fuck you.
Chris is really happy about this. Can you tell?
I'm pretty sure this is more matches than you would see when we saw it in the entirety of a Cinderella last year.
No, there was 14 matches.
So we're just shy. We're just awesome. Cool. Amazing. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, next match. Maika defeated Konami at 8 minutes and 27 seconds via an over-the-top rope elimination. Konami started wrestling in this match, Chris, like she had a fucking train to catch. I mean, proper quick exchanges. It's like, bloody hell, calm down, Konami.
It was like Fire Pro 1.5.
It was, yeah. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed this match. I'd say it's top 3 matches of the night easily. I thought Konami wrestled fantastically well, relentlessly going for the arm every single move, to the point where we actually saw far less strikes and kicks and even more adaptable submission moves locked in. Maika's selling was fantastic for the most part. She just forget about it sometimes, but she played the underdog really, really, really well. Loved that every time Maika tried to mount an offense, it was completely undermined by Konami. And it was wonderfully exemplified when Konami tries to lock in an armbar of her own. Sorry, when Maika tries to lock in an armbar of her own, but Konami rolls through into another one. And even when you think that Maika is going to get the shot win with the suplex from the inside onto the outside, Konami transitions it into that guillotine choke. It was beautiful. It was really well wrestled.
Yeah, it was good. This match was like really good throughout most of it, and the ending was fucking fire.
Agreed.
The suplex on, because they didn't fucking half-ass it either. They both fucking took all of that.
Oh god, Konami literally hit the very, very corner of the apron on that suplex.
And didn't you know that's the hardest part of the ring? I
have heard rumours that it is relatively hard. I mean, we'll ignore the botch where Maika apparently completely forgot how to get over the top rope. But ultimately, I really enjoyed this match. I think this is... We've said quite a few times on this podcast that Stardom are very, very good at sub 10-minute matches. There are wrestlers on this roster who can do sub 10-minute matches very, very well. And I think this was one of them. I really like this match. I gave it 3.5, Chris.
Ooh, I gave it 3.25. It was really good. There was still somehow a bit of a lull in it. Like, only for like maybe 20, 30 seconds, but in an 8-minute match, that's quite a lot of runtime.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I did like the hot start. I did like the hot end. This, in terms of like 8 minutes, when it comes to Konami, I'm expecting Shuri level after Budokan. And this went around the same amount of time. So it was good. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, very good. Moving on then, and our first shock of the tournament, I think. I mean, you can sort of class Mayu going over Konami as a...
I thought Hanan was going to completely destroy Hammacher.
You can, but the way they're pushing Mayu at the moment, I fully expected it to go through. This is my first real one, and that's Unagi Sayaka defeating Natsuko Tora at 6 minutes and 51 seconds via over the top rope.
That's just how she wins, because she's won like two singles like two non-team matches. One was about a Royal Rumble, and one is this.
Exactly.
That's just how she wins.
This is her 12th attempt at a singles match, and this is her first actual win in a singles match. The 12th attempt. I mean, ultimately, Tora doesn't look terrible here. She beat the piss out of Unagi for 5 of these 7 minutes. And it was very similar to her trial matches, except for the fact that, here she actually won. But Tora only lost because she didn't take Unagi seriously and went over the top rope. She didn't lose via big move or anything like that. It was just played off as a mistake. So, it was good storytelling. It was a meh match.
It was good. I like it. Tora works really well with rookies. So putting her up against Unagi is a good idea because, she's essentially a rookie. But beyond that, yeah, it's kind of just fine. I liked the ending. I liked the misdirection crisscross spots because I didn't expect to see that in a Tora match. Unagi's offense still doesn't land at all for me, like in any way, shape, or form.
There was some kicks in the corner, and they were barely touching Tora.
Yeah, they were not great.
To say they were pulled is underrated. An understatement. Sorry.
Yeah, like I put my opinions with fucking. Yes, bad. It's just her offense isn't good, and it's annoying because like Mina developed her offense fairly quickly, and Unagi kind of just hasn't done that. And Unagi had a whole fucking 7-match trial series to do that, and Mina managed to do it throughout the course of Tag League. So
yeah,
I'm not overly impressed with Unagi's progress so far.
We thought she did have a very good match against Saya Kamatani.
No, she keeps having these bursts, and then she's bad again.
I think whereas if we're to do, the typical maths graphs, you look at Mina's progress and it's a straight line. It's a straight line. There's no, it gets better and better and better and better and better. Whereas Unagi's, it's far more up and down. It's a roller coaster, isn't it? We get a good match and then a bad match and then two good matches, but then a match where her offense stinks or whatever. She is more inconsistent than Mina. Her offense did look really weak here. But you're right. I thought Tora managed to get a relatively decent match out of Unagi here. But you said in the last podcast, Chris, effectively in a placement on the roster, Unagi is just above the kids. So she does need to improve, and hopefully via exposure that is going to happen. I can see her being in the 5-star to help her progress.
Well, this is anything to go by. Fucking everyone's going to be in the 5-star.
Well, yeah. I imagine it's going to be a 30-woman field.
With 60-minute time limits. Oh.
And they're all 2 out of 3 falls matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you give this match, Chris?
3. I liked it.
I give it 2.5. So that averages out at 2 3/4. Fair enough. And I know there is quite a lot of negativity surrounding Unagi. Not from everyone, but there are quite a few.
But believe me, there's some amazingly massive fucking positive people, and some of them are really annoying about it.
Well, what I will say is, Unagi won this match. There was a big pop from the crowd. So, she's over in Japan. Say what you want about the viewers, the English-speaking viewers, but...
Bob's sat. People still shit on him.
Yeah, Bob's sat was shit. Okay, Chris, so... Okay, so my pick for the entire tournament is in this match. So, if you will, Chris, just give me a second. Match 4. Rina, replacing the injured Saki Kashima, defeats my pick, Azumi at 4 minutes and 40 seconds via over the top rope. Now, if you'll just excuse me for a moment. Oh, fucking hell!
He's a very aggressive man.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I was shit at the 5-star Pick Ems last year. Fuck's sake! Also, genuinely, though, I don't actually mind this result. If I hadn't picked Azumi to go all the way in the tournament, then it's fine. We mentioned before we went on air, Chris, that clearly Saki was supposed to go over Azumi, and they needed, for storyline, they needed someone to go on into the next round from Ueda Tai. They covered the fact that Rina has defeated a far more experienced member of the roster by just spamming the shenanigans in this match. And ultimately, you just felt like Azumi was never going to win this because you got Tora and Konami literally holding her down at one point. My one big thing, Chris, is there were members of Queen's Quest fucking watching. Why?
Have you ever played an RPG?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So the one I haven't played many, so I'm going to use South Park as a voice of reference. You'd get to a big boss, not a boss rush, because you can use summons and bosses, but a big enemy rush, and then you'd use Jesus to make them all go away, and you wouldn't feel any achievement in what you've done. That's what Rina did here. She kept spamming the Tora.
The Tora button.
Walkie-talkie going, let's go. It's tight. I think Queen's Quest are trying to be more honourable, but also there's no honour in letting someone lose cheating. It was a weird one there. Maybe Momo just doesn't care anymore. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe she's just had enough. I will say, to be fair, the pair actually put on a pretty enjoyable little sprint when the shenanigans weren't involved, and Rina showed some flashes of really capable wrestling, and I stand by the fact that she is going to be a huge star when she's older. You just get that feel for her. And I've said many times, I think, that the difference between Rina and Hina isn't wrestling ability, is that Rina has that charisma, that presence, whereas Hina is a good wrestler, undoubtedly a good wrestler, and will be a fantastic wrestler when she's older. Again, they are 14. Rina has that extra special bit of something. Hannon has it as well. But I just think that Rina can be a proper shithouse heel when she's older. And I look forward to seeing that. What did you give it, Chris?
I forgot to rate it.
I gave it 1 star and 3/4.
1 star and 3/4? I thought it was better than that. I thought she held up against Azumi really well.
It was a 4 minutes 40 match where it was spammed with interference. What did you expect me to give it?
I don't know. You have to look at the ambition of the match when you're rating it.
What would you rate it, Chris? Go on, give me a rating right now.
I'm thinking along the lines of 2 3/4.
2 3/4?
Yes, but I didn't expect such a non-committal rating to set you off. You're a really aggressive man.
Fucking hell. Well, you would be aggressive if your pick had just gone out to one of the fucking children.
I don't know, my pick's Hammacher, so I'm feeling really good about myself right now.
Yeah, I know you are.
Because Hammacher can beat one of the children, you know who can't? Azumi.
Not going to rise to it. Match 5 saw a rematch from last year's first round, with Starlight Kid getting her revenge and defeating Momo Watanabe at 6 minutes and 23 seconds via over-the-top rope elimination. Chris, what do you think about this match?
It was very good. I really enjoyed this. It's the one time I'm going to be overly happy on the whole show, because this was really good. It was a continuation of their match last year, which was basically one long finishing stretch. But then the B driver that would finish off Starlight last year, from my memory, didn't finish her off, and then it became a big game of chess, and it was great. The outside stuff was some of the tensest I've seen in all of Cinderella's. The B driver into the Code Red, great stuff. Just all very good and hard hitting, and both women looked really, really good. And there was some really nice kicks. I'm a big fan of kicks. Some really nice strikes. I like the strikes. And a creative ending. I like it when endings are creative. This is just really good. This is probably as good as you can get out of 6. Well, I say that it wasn't quite on the level of Harashima versus Sakaguchi from the DDT show last month, but as close to that as you could probably get.
Yeah, I mean, they crammed a lot of story into 6 minutes, to be perfectly honest. I mean, as well, the fact that it's based around a move I thought was fantastic. You've got Momo, who last year managed to do Starlight Kid with 1 B driver, and apparently doesn't believe in any growth whatsoever because all she's trying to do is spam the B driver. She manages to hit it once, Starlight kicks out, and you can see there that Momo has started to completely underestimate. And again, here, she's been done completely by her own complacency. Because they get onto the apron, and, you know, we've seen Konami eliminated on this very card by being flipped and hit onto the apron. So you would do your biggest impact move on the apron to eliminate someone. But again, Momo, what does she go for? She goes for the B driver. Ends up being reversed into a code red, and she's eliminated. Once more, she's been done by her own complacency. And I thought that was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. And also, it was very fast-paced, and I enjoyed it.
Incredibly fast-paced. Starlight Kid has been superb this year. Superb. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see her with that singles title that she's definitely going to be getting, either towards the end of this year or the start of next year. I can really see Starlight holding a white belt. I think she will definitely be Goddess of Stardom tag champions. I can definitely see MK Sisters holding those. Question is, though, Chris, what did you give this?
3 3/4. I really liked it.
Has it gone on your match of the year thread?
It has.
Oh my god.
3 3/4, that puts it on the same pegging as was my last 3 3/4. It was Hikari Noah versus Miyu Yamashita from TJPW.
Do you know that won't make your match of the year list, though, Chris?
What?
Match 6. Mayu Iwatani defeated Fukiken Death at 4 minutes and 16 seconds with a small package.
I'm mad because these two have a rivalry completely based around Mayu's book, and they didn't even come up once. How fucking dare they?
Sweet Jesus, what fucking fresh hell was this?
It was a regular death match, just near the top of the cards.
We've evolved from lovable dancing Groot that, despite being cute, was completely fucking useless, to the adolescent cunt Groot who won't tidy his room and nobody likes. That is effectively what we've got here now.
I like all Groots. I'm an equal opportunity Groot fan.
I mean, this match was 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and Mayu fell for the brainwash go-kicking shtick 3 times. Fucking hell, Mayu.
If there was one word I would use to describe Mayu, intelligent.
Isn't one of them. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see Mayu joining Mensa anytime soon.
No, true.
She's essentially a Bushi. If I was to give Mayu a nickname and a Bushi nickname, it'd probably be Murder Idiot.
Murder Idiot.
So sitting there and going, this match, I didn't like this match because Mayu didn't wrestle intelligently. She never wrestles intelligently.
No, I don't like it because the fucking death gimmick is stupid.
I mean, all the death gimmicks are stupid.
Just fuck off.
Honestly, I don't know why she just hasn't got completely new gear, because she's still half dressed like Mr. Tumble, but she just run a shirt over it.
Are they trying to say that somehow Oida Tai have brainwashed her? What sort of capabilities does Tora have to brainwash someone? Because if she's doing it through torture, that's illegal.
I mean, you're talking about someone who used to hang people.
That is a very, very good point.
Maybe she just used Hypnotoad.
Hypnotoad? What the fuck is Hypnotoad?
Have you ever seen Futurama?
No, I'm not a big Futurama fan.
Really? You fucking... What? How?
I've never liked it.
Why have you never liked it? What's wrong with it?
It's just not The Simpsons.
But you're mad at it because it's not The Simpsons?
That is correct, yes.
In that case, I could watch Stardom and sit here being mad because it's not Ring of Honor.
Completely different.
How?
Well, for a start, Simpsons and Futurama are by the same people.
I'm sure there's some crossover between Ring of Honor and Stardom.
Well, Women of Honor. which is basically a Joshi division, and Kelly
No.
Klein.
But you're wrong there because Women of Honor are coming back, and you know what the first match back is? Quinn McKay versus Angelina Love. Great, amazing.
Oh no!
I know.
It's so difficult to be hyped for that match.
Some people are hyped for it, and I'm like, has Quinn McKay ever even wrestled? I don't think she has.
Oh.
Quinn.
Really? Are we doing this now?
I mean, you can continue. I'm honestly just looking for myself. We can continue. There's not a lot to talk about this match, is there?
No, at least it was fucking short. I gave it 1 star. I absolutely hated it.
Oh, she's wrestled at AAW. That's a respectable promotion. That sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I actually do like AAW. She wrestled Alley Cat. She beat Alley Cat. Wow. Yeah, it was. I've spent worse sub 5 minute time frames.
If you say so. Match 7 then saw Julia defeat Ruaka at 4 minutes and 21 seconds with the Northern Lights bomb. Of course, Ruaka in the tournament instead of the departed B. Priestley. Chris, 4 minutes 21 seconds. Again, not a great deal to talk about, but I will say I really like the Northern Lights bomb as well. It is fantastic. I will say Julia bumps like a fucking maniac for Ruaka in this match.
She does, doesn't she? But we'll go into that in a second because you don't like Kensuke Sasaki, do you?
Where the fuck has that come from?
He's the guy who does the Northern Light. Well, him and Hikaru Hokuto do the Northern Light.
I see where you're coming from now. Look, I have seen 5 Kensuke Sasaki matches. Sasaki. I've seen 5 Sasaki matches, and they've all been shit. I'm sure that he has had fantastic matches. In fact, I'm damn near positive.
Have you not seen his Kabashi match?
No.
You've not seen his Tenru match?
Right, Chris. Okay. I have seen 5 Sasaki matches, and they've all been shit. Do you think, from that overarching thing, knowing what I like about wrestling, do you think I will have seen his Kabashi match?
No.
Do you think I will have seen his Tenru match?
Maybe.
No. No, I haven't.
Have all 5 matches been for the Champion Carnival?
Yeah, oh my god, he was so shit in that Champion Carnival.
Actually, didn't he do a retro WCW project? Did he came across him? He was Power Warrior.
Oh yeah, I know. Seriously, you wait for my review of that Day 1 match versus Nishimura. It's awful. 30-minute draw and nothing happens. Fucking nothing.
So it's like watching modern New Japan.
Exactly. What a lovely parallel. Yeah, Julia bumps like an absolute fucking demon for Ruaka here. Infinitely more than she did for Unagi, which made me laugh.
Yeah, but to be fair, would you bump for Unagi?
No, absolutely not for that weak-ass offense, no.
It's like in Simpsons, no one's gay for a moment, no one bumps for Unagi.
Julie takes a lot of punishment, then gets the knees up for the freezer drop and hits the Northern Lights bomb for the win. I am very, very happy that she's integrating this full-time into a moveset and it wasn't just a one-off thing. Yeah,
I'm glad that I got to see it in a context that wasn't a really dull 30-minute match.
Yeah, exactly. Match 8 then. Oh, sorry. What did you rate this, Chris?
2.
Yeah, I gave it 2 1/4. I thought there was enough there. I thought Ruaka looked good. And Julia made her look good, to be honest. Match 8 then, you have the red belt champion Utami Hayashishita defeating Mina Shirakawa in 8 minutes and 59 seconds with the German suplex. Chris, opinion?
I mean, a singles match, this wasn't too bad. Doesn't touch the Momo match, but also it's not as bad as... I'm trying to think of another Mina singles match. They're not really memorable.
No, they aren't. No, I'm with you on that.
So, it was fine. It was better than I expected. Mina's getting slightly better in basically every respect. Like, there's no longer I hear her theme, which is a weird theme for a wrestler.
It's French disco pop, and it's great. I won't hear a word said against it.
I'm not saying it's a bad theme. I'm saying it's a weird one. It's like how Mark Andrews' themes aren't exactly bad songs. It's just a weird song for a wrestler to come out to.
I stand by the fact that the accordion, underrated instrument in a wrestler's theme. Which
Name
is
one of the things where, to be fair, like that's one thing about I like about Evil. We have a harpsichord in his, and I like a good harpsichord. Me,
okay. Right, yeah, sure. The match then, Chris?
just fine.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's not the most
there was
interesting match on this card.
It's not like we have a lot of the other matches where there was a moment where I thought the underdog was going to win. There was not a second in this match. I mean, Shirakawa was winning. Honestly, 9 minutes was probably a bit too long for her to be holding up against the red belt champ. But it was fine.
That was what I was going to ask. That's the only real question I've got coming out of this was: did Utami give too much to Mina in this match?
Probably. Yeah, I would have taken 3 minutes off of this and given it to Saya versus Tam.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought Mina looked fine. The attention please is a really good submission move that I want to see her finish more people off with, but she was never beating Utami here. Don't get me wrong, Utami is not going all the way by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, Mina wasn't beating her here. Move on then. I gave it 2.5, Chris.
Yeah, same here.
Moving on then, the semi-main with Saya Kamatani defeating Tam Nakano in 5 minutes and 48 seconds via over-the-top elimination with a springboard Hurricane Rana, which looked nice, Chris.
Here's the thing. That's the one thing worth seeing from this match. But it got spoiled for me. So.
Oh, no. The result or the move?
So, a GIF came up on Twitter, and I watched it before I realised what it was.
Oh, no, Wounder. Gutting.
So, yeah. The rest of the match was meh. Like, they didn't really click until the end, for me, to be honest.
Well, it's weird because this match went 5 minutes and 48 seconds, and I reckon 2 minutes of it took part on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot happened on the apron.
Yeah, nothing really happened until the end. And then, it speaks volumes about seeing two things coming out of this match between Saya, who is one of the bigger contenders in Stardom right now, and Tam, who's one of the champions. The two things I've seen after this is the finish and people looking at Tam's opening promo and tagging Maki Ito to try and get a reaction.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think 5 minutes and 48 seconds, one of the shortest matches on the card. I think they deserved a little bit more than that. Maybe cut off, say, Utami and Mina did not need 8 minutes and 59 seconds. I personally don't think Unagi and Natsukatora needed almost 7.
Honestly, what I think is Rina and Azumi should have went 3 seconds and Rina just completely jobbed that punk out.
Well, I genuinely thought what was going to happen, in the Best of the Super Juniors a couple of years ago, where they fought up into the crowd. I think it was Kanemaru. And Kanemaru just wrapped Yo up in the seating and then sprinted back to the ring. And Yo got counted out.
It was Show. I remember that.
Yes, of course it was. And I was like,
that was fucking great.
I thought that was what was going to happen here, especially when Rina attacked Azumi before she got in the ring. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not too bothered about that. That was one of the shortest matches on the card. I think it was third shortest on the card, so I'm not particularly bothered about that. The only blessing about the Mayu and Fukigen death match was it was the shortest on the card.
Still too long, though.
Yeah, still far too long. I mean, maybe we could have taken a smidge of time off Micah and Konami. I'm not particularly bothered about that. I thought that was still a really good match. Yeah, just 5 minutes and 48 seconds for these two. It just seems a little bit... Just doesn't seem enough. I mean, for me, and this is spoilers, I don't think Saya Kamatani's going all the way because here she's already got a ready-made title shot. She's beaten the champion. She's eliminated the white belt champion from the tournament. She's got a ready-made belt shot anyway. So it wouldn't surprise me if Saya Kamatani doesn't win it, but that's just my 2 cents. We'll be having a look at the brackets in un momento. What'd you give this, Chris?
Honestly, 1 3/4 because it was only good for 30 seconds of its 6-minute runtime.
And hang on, what did you give Mayu and Fukigen Death?
I didn't rate Mayu and Fukigen Death.
Okay, right. I just don't think I can rate it worse than the Inagi and Tora match.
I didn't mind the Inagi and Tora match.
Well, I gave it 2 1/4, so it literally evens out as a 2, which I think is fine. Main event then, we had a DDM, all DDM match with Siori defeating Natsupoi in 9 minutes and 26 seconds. Chris, certainly one of the better matches on the card.
Yeah, but the problem is it's one of the better matches on the card because we didn't pace it like a Cinderella match.
It was basically just your typical singles match in Stardom, wasn't it?
Yeah, honestly, it started, I'm like, shit, they're working towards a draw, aren't they? Because they weren't working like they were going for a quick win, or like they're trying to get people on the outside. It wasn't, like, it was a fine match, but not a good Cinderella match, if you get me. You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like Micah versus Utami last year. That was probably one of the better matches of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a good Cinderella match. It's not what you should be doing for a Cinderella match.
I don't think that matters. In particular, you know, it wasn't like it was slow finish. You know, they did pace it well. It did rise. It was the main event. There were peaks and valleys. And every other match, Chris, every other match had someone going onto the outside, okay, and being, having that moment of tension. It was actually quite refreshing. I mean, it did happen here. I think it happened very, very briefly near the start.
If I was pacing this match, I'd just have Siori continuously go for submissions, which she didn't really. She kind of just went for kicks, go trying to like swat Natsupoi up the air into an ankle lock or something. I think that could have been cooler than what we got, which was like just a standard. I wouldn't say house show because we did quite a lot, but like a fairly run-of-the-mill Stardom random singles match. Like if this wasn't in Cinderella, this probably would have went to a draw on a random like Osaka show.
I quite like the fact that Natsupoi completely shocked Siori with the way she was going with for a high-speed start, just rolled her up instantly. Sort of threw Siori off a game. I really quite like that. Potentially Siori could have thrown in a few more submissions, but you can argue, there's a storyline there where she didn't want to completely obliterate her, in the terms of her promo sister. But then it escalated to basically Siori trying to kick Natsupoi's head off. I thought it escalated well. I liked the fact that it was so different to every other match. I liked the fact that they actually wrestled. The time limit wasn't a case of, right, let's just go balls to the wall for 4 minutes. I like the fact that it escalated properly. It's definitely top 2 matches of the night. Not that he's got much competition, don't get me wrong. But I gave it 3.5, Chris.
I give it 3.5 too. I did like it. It's a better match than it is a Cinderella match.
Yeah, I think they are 2 very different things. The best thing about this match, though, was after DDM have come into the ring and they've all raised hands, Natsupoi turns to Siori and points to a cut on her forehead, which Siori has given her. So Siori attempts to give her a hug, and Natsupoi runs off and hugs Hammacher, which I quite enjoyed. I thought that was quite cool. But yes, that was the Cinderella Tournament in a nutshell. Chris, comparing it to last year's tournament, match quality-wise, and I know it's very difficult to rate matches when they go, 2, 3, and 4 minutes. What are you thinking in terms of this?
Coming out of first round last year, you had a bit more to go on. Like, I had 2 matches on the match of year for last time out of Julia versus Jungo and Mayu versus Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of prospects last year, the prospect was, we can go now see the rest of the tournament, whereas the prospect here is we're now going to have to desperately make content about this for the best part of a month because for no adequately explained reason. So meh.
I think you've got 3 very good matches in Konami versus Micah, Moma versus Starlight is brilliant match of the night, and Natsupoi and Siori. But other than that,
the last thing when we're talking about a Cinderella tournament, we shouldn't be going these matches are skippable. Because what the good thing about the original concept was every match was essential. You just sat down and watched the whole show. Rebel Kel versus Azumi doesn't normally sound like a great prospect, but you sit down and watch it because it's part of the whole package. We're not getting that here. And we're not getting people wrestling to win quickly because at the end of the day they'll have time to recover. It's just taken all the fucking wind out of the Cinderella.
I wouldn't say it's no. I know what you mean. I am hyped. And the reason I'm hyped is if you look at who is left in this tournament and who definitely isn't going to win it. Okay, Utami definitely is not winning this tournament. I can't see Mayu winning this tournament. You look at who's left, you've got some really fresh names in there. And that's ultimately what this tournament's about. Yes, I completely agree with you. I would have much preferred this all to be on one day. Much preferred it. But it isn't. So we need to stop bitching and moaning about it. It's not on one day. So, we get on with it. Whether it is like this next year, I don't know. The chances are probably. Yes, it does take away some of the magic from the tournament. Yes, it does sort of relieve it of its, not one redeeming feature, but a redeeming feature of it. But I don't think it's all a negative thing. Okay, let's focus.
It's not
on
all
the
a negative thing, but it hasn't added any positive. All the positives would have been there and enhanced on a one-day tournament anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I am saying
it should remain positive. No, fuck that.
Well, no, because that's you being pedantic and shitty for no reason.
That's not me being pedantic.
It is. You're saying there's nothing positive to come out of this tournament. Nothing positive at all.
There's obviously positives because we're fans
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this tournament has been bettered by making it over 2 days. I'm saying yes, it shouldn't have been over 2 days. But I'm saying that there are positives to come out of it.
But these positives are lessened by the change in format.
I disagree. I think you're focusing on the format too much. That shouldn't take away from the fact that we are going to have a winner that could be Starlight Kid, Sayaka Matani, Mayu. But there we are. Let's have a look at the brackets for the people who are left. So, the way that... This isn't helping my cause. The way they've structured the brackets... Have you seen the brackets, Chris?
No.
The way they've structured the brackets, so buys into the quarterfinals... Is it the quarterfinal? I can't see because of this bracket. It's a fucking weak... Right, basically, Hammacher and Unagi have got buys into the next round. I don't understand why Unagi and Hammacher have got buys into the next round, but they are the two that have been given buys into the next round. The next round matches, the second rounds, are Siori versus Utami, Julia versus Mayu, Starlight versus Sayaka Matani, and then Mayu versus Rina, which, if you think about it, should have actually been Mayu versus Saki Kashima. Unagi will face the winner of Siori and Utami, and Hammacher will take on the winner of Mayu versus Rina. So, first things first, Chris. Doesn't help my argument in the slightest. Why Unagi and Hammacher have got buys, I don't know, but let's take it bracket by bracket.
It's because they thought, let's extend it, but let's not just extend it to a good amount. Let's just make it, 20 for no reason.
They extended it to an amount of people that doesn't correlate to a single elimination tournament.
We have definitely put more thought into this tournament than Stardom have.
Yeah, you are right with that, to be fair. Right, let's go through these brackets then. So, Siori versus Utami, Chris. Do you think Siori is going to win?
Yeah, I think it might be a case of Shuri wins and that gives her a bigger challenge towards going for the red belt.
Yeah, because she is next in line for the red belt after Yokohama. I think if you look at that, then she beats Utami and then she beats Unagi in the semi-finals. I think... Oh, no, sorry, the quarterfinals. Yeah, the quarterfinals, sorry. I think... Siori's a favourite to go to the final, I think, here. Because if you look at the other side of that bracket, so you've got Siori versus Utami. We've both got Siori winning, I assume. We've then got Unagi in the quarterfinals. I personally see Siori beating Unagi. I'm sure that you are the same. The winner of that match, the Siori and Unagi match, will then face the winner of Julia and Mayu. Now, if you consider all of... I don't know if you saw the build-up to the tag match, which you loved so much at Yokohama. There was a bit of a bit of needling from Julia about how basically Micah was getting a little bit too big for a boot, basically trying to put her back in a place. And then, of course, you've got the Siori and Julia taking the tag belts off Micah and Hammacher. I see Micah doing Julia here.
Yeah, I can see that, because we want to try and keep DDM on equal pegging by the look of it.
Which means then that we have got a Siori versus Micah semi-final.
Rematch from last year.
Which is a rematch from last year. I think Micah might do that.
Yeah. I can... Yeah. Yeah, and then it would be meeting Hammacher after that, wouldn't it? Because Hammacher's got a bye.
Well, on the other side of the bracket...
I would say might have been give the champions a bye, but most of the champions got knocked out. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, champions-wise, you've got Siori who's the SWA and Utami who's the Red Belt champion.
Yeah,
you could have given both of those a bye, but...
We should honestly be booking Stardom.
I don't get it. Anyway, so the other side of the bracket. So we've both got Micah going through to the final.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other side of the bracket then. So we've got Mayu Iwatani and Rena.
Yeah, Rena's going to pull it out there.
I mean, I would have said you're an idiot, but then having looked at the way that Rena actually got through in the first round, it would not surprise me if Rena beats Mayu simply because Tora, Konami, Ruaka all hold Mayu down. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, I can't put Rena through ahead of Mayu. Can I? Can I?
You're not going to. Just say Mayu so we can move on.
Yeah, fuck it, Mayu. So then it will be Mayu versus Hammacher. And
I reckon DDM... Oedetai will completely destroy Mayu, leading to Hammacher picking up the scraps and destroying Mayu, and then going through to the final to win.
And I believe that Hammacher's already had one match with Mayu. It was in the 5-star, and Mayu won, didn't she? So
but this won't be and it wouldn't be a clean win. And then Hammacher goes to the final. She can go over Micah, who's already has experience against Utami and is compared to Utami quite a lot. A natural path to the red belt for Hammacher.
You've jumped ahead. You have missed out Starlight Kid and Sai Kamatani.
Oh, in which case, Starlight, then go through. And then the natural path.
So you think, basically we've got Mayu going over Rena and then Hammacher going over Mayu, which takes her into the semi-finals to take on either Starlight or Saya Kamatani.
It will either be, well, to be fair, Starlight would be the biggest star, but also Hammacher's never beaten Saya, so that could be a big thing. And also actually, she's also a former Red Belt champion. So yeah, beat a legendary Red Belt champion and then beat the two last remaining challenges left in Stardom. Natural path to Red Belt.
So you think Saya Kamatani beat Starlight?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is what I do, but clearly I put more thought into this than Stardom.
So the bracket then, Mayu beats Rena, Mayu and Hammacher in one quarterfinal. Hammacher beats Mayu because of a Uedetai interference.
Yes.
Starlight and Saya Kamatani. You've got Saya Kamatani going over to meet Hammacher in the semi-final. Hammacher goes through Saya, and it'll be a Micah versus Hammacher final. Hammacher will beat Micah, which, as you said, Micah and Saya have already gone for the red belt. So Hammacher then not only goes through 2 red belt challenges, but she then challenges Utami for the red belt. Is that what you think is going to happen?
That's what I would have happen.
Okay, I agree with you. I think the chances are it's basically. I think the 3 it's going to come down to are Siori, Micah, and Hammacher. Those are the 3 it's going to come down to. Those are your 3 finalists. I think Saya Kamatani, as I said before, Saya Kamatani has already got a bona fide title match. She's already got a white belt title challenge locked by eliminating Tam in the first round. So she doesn't then need to go and win the tournament.
Correct.
Micah has already challenged for the red belt this year. She challenged in January at the 10th anniversary. So much as getting to the final will be a good rub for her, I'd like to see Maika go through Julia and then go through Siori, the two people that took the belts off them at Yokohama. The only difference I can see maybe is having Maika and Siori in the semi-final and Siori going through. If Siori went to the final, do you still see Hammacher winning?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm not wavering from my path. I'm going full on Stardom, who just put Rina through because she's also in a weather tie. But
I wish I'd changed. Fuck's sake, Azumi. Anyway, just got one question regarding that. Victor, some deviant on Twitter has asked, after seeing the brackets, what do you think of a Hammacher versus Unagi final? I think we've just gone through that. I don't see. There's Chris's answer.
No.
No. I don't see Unagi having to get through a side of the bracket that contains the red belt champion Siori, Maika, and Julia. I don't see Unagi getting through now.
If that happens, I will sing a soulful acoustic rendition of "I'm an Ass Man" Billy Gunn's WWF Attitude Era theme live on air.
I love the fact that you thought that you had to quantify which Mr. Assman you were going to sing, as though there is more than one song called Mr. Assman.
I'm sure there's a sex jam from the 90s called Assman.
I don't know why when you say sex jam, it sounds proper creepy.
So good.
So the Cinderella Tour continues. We're just going to quickly have a look at some of these cards and go through basically what are some of the more important matches. There were shows on the 17th and on the 18th, but of course, as we release this to the 18th, they aren't up on Stardom World as of yet. So the show from the 17th of April, which was Saturday, there is, I'm just having a look, we have got a 6-woman tag, Hammacher, Natsupoi and Maika versus Utami, Saya and Hina. We have got Julia and Siori taking on Momo AZ. That will be very good.
Should be all right, yeah.
And then it's 6-woman tag, Stars versus Oedo Tai, which I think we're going to see quite a lot of. The 18th of April, and this is from Matsumoto, we have got Maika, Natsupoi and Julia taking on Momo, Azumi and Sai Kamatani. Again, should be really, really good. That's really it from that card. Not a lot else to say. The 24th. Now, this is an interesting card, and you'll see why in a minute. Again, this is from Hamamatsu. So, 24th of April, Hamamatsu. This is really interesting because we have two singles matches opening the card. Starlight Kid versus Lady C. That's not the one I'm talking about. And then Mayu versus Azumi.
Why didn't they just have Azumi go through?
Your guess is as good as mine. However, that should be really tasty. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's on the undercard of a Road 2 show and has a 50. Yeah, it's got a 15-minute time limit, which tells me it's a 15-minute time limit draw. But I imagine that is going to be a really, really, really good match, so I will be checking that out. We have got the Cosmic Angels taking on the DDM team of Natsupoi, Hammacher, and Maika. And then we've got, I don't know, some Oedo Tai bollocks. 25th then, from the Edion Arena, Osaka. Let's have a look and see what other tasty things we've got from this match. Saya Kamatani versus Fukigen Death. Get in.
Yeah.
MK Sisters taking on Hammacher and Natsupoi.
Should be fine.
Should be good. And then, only other match of any real note. DDM, Julia, Siori, and Maika versus Momo, Utami, and Azumi. That should be very good as well. And then the 29th, the last night of the tour that isn't actually a tournament, April 29th from Sendai, my favourite place in the whole world.
Is it Pit by any chance?
Is it what?
Sendai Pit.
It will be Sendai Pit, yeah. We have got Hammacher and Maika, the ex-Goddess of Stardom tag titles champions, taking on Momo and Saya Kamatani. MK Sisters taking on Unagi and Mina. which again should be very good. And then the main event is 6-woman tag, DDM, Natsupoi Julia Siori taking on the Oedo Tai team of Konami, Ruaka, and Natsuka Tora. Overall, there's a couple of decent matches in there, but aside from... The only one that really sticks out to me is Azumi versus Mayu. Again, I don't know anything that happened from the 17th and 18th shows, Chris, I don't know about you, but I think Julia and Siori versus Momo AZ could be very, very tasty. And I personally think we could be seeing a tag title challenge.
Yeah, I don't see any point in doing it if you're not going to do that.
No, it makes sense. And again, on a bigger stage, Momo AZ versus Julia and Surrey would be a very, very tasty matchup, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's not really a great deal to talk about. The next big show is the 29th, isn't it? There's a couple of Coricans before then. But yeah, the next big show is the 29th of May, which is Tokyo Dream Cinderella. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, only a short podcast today, but then again, the matches were all only about 4 minutes, so there we are. The chances are we will try and do another podcast to cover the Road 2 shows as they were before doing the final Cinderella Tournament night on the 30th. If we don't, we'll do it all as one after the 30th of April. Again, there's no point giving you a time or a date because we need to wait for it all to be uploaded onto Stardom World. So keep an eye on our Twitter and on the Discord if you are part of our Discord so that we can keep you informed of the next time we'll be dropping an episode. Until then, thank you so much for listening. You can go and check out our podcast. Go and subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play. Anywhere you get your podcasts, we are everywhere. Leave us a 5-star review and a comment. It really does help the podcast out. You can talk to us on Twitter at the Stardom Cast. You can talk to me at Real Rob Goodwin. Chris, where can they find you?
At Chrysalis Pura.
You can check out the website, www.podmania.co.uk, where you can check out all of our archived podcast ratings and our match ratings from all of the shows, including the ones we've rated today. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we will talk to you guys again soon.